Hello everybody and welcome back. I'm Lincoln and today's the 31st, which means we made it to the end of my October 3D sculpting challenge. Hope you guys had a good time with this. I had a lot of fun showing you guys new tools and techniques along the way. And today I'm going to show you how to use a few lights and a cone to make a light ray for the flashlight, which was my sculptor's choice for the day, making this little trick-or-treater. Alright you guys, grab your iPad or other device and let's go make this. Alright, so let's get rid of the default sphere. I'm going to add a cylinder and I'm just going to round this and then we'll just chop it off. So what we'll do first is come in here and subdivide it and bring the division up, or bring it down rather, and subdivide again. Oops, too much. Probably about right there is pretty good. And if we squeeze it down, pretty good right there. If we change the radius. The cool thing with these, you know, you can get a lot of shapes going pretty quick with this. Alright, I like that. And I'm going to go ahead and, you know what, I'll just leave that round section. We'll go ahead and validate this. And I'm going to grab the, first what I'm going to do is turn this to trackball so I can move all the way around if I want. And I'm going to bring this down so I can see the grid, just like that. Snap to the top, and I'm going to grab the select mask, go to ellipse, go to this one, do front facing vertex only. And we also need to go into the masking part and do circle centered. Okay, tap right on this, whoops. Should be on select mask. Why did I touch it apparently? Right, like that. Alright, we're gonna flip the mask. We're gonna tap on the mask to soften it. Grab the gizmo and bring it down. And that'll be perfect for what I want. Alright, so now we can go back to mask. Well, we'll go to the select mask, clear it, smooth. And that's all we really have to do to that for the front, because it's gonna have, I'm gonna put a light beam in it, so you're not really gonna see it anyway. Alright, so we got that cut. And it really just depends on how much detail you want to put on this guy. I'm going to just kind of leave it like that, I think, and we'll just go ahead and add another cylinder. And this is Sculptor's choice, so you guys definitely don't have to do this. This is just what I'm doing with mine. That looks pretty good, I think, size-wise. And we'll call that good. Validate it. Alright, so I want to give the back, these always had like a screw cap on it, a little bit bigger. So let's add another cylinder. Move it back here. Squeeze it down, squeeze it down. And then we're going to do the radius again. Squeeze this down. Just like that. And a little bit bigger so it's cap shape. Just go like that, I think will work. Alright, same thing. I'm going to subdivide it. Bring it down so it kind of rounds out good. Validate it. That'll work. Alright, so the next thing, I want to put rings all the way down this guy. So this, we'll get to use the new array function, which is super cool. So let's come in. These, I'm just going to put these together just so they're easier to find. We can close them up. I'm going to add a torus. We're going to go in here because it's going to be stuck in there, so I'm going to pull it out. Alright, now we are going to bring this up go into this menu here, and we need to bring the go ahead and bring the subdivision up. Bring that up. Now we bring the outer radius in, the inner radius in until it's just a little tiny ring. So you can see there it's a nice little ring. Now you can go either way with this. I'm just going to do small ribs on here. I think you could do both though. You could do in and out, and maybe I will just do in, so we can squeeze this out, and then we'll just make ribs on there. Probably the easiest. Just like that. Now let's go to the array so we can validate it now. Now let's go in, add an array. And then it's just a matter of figuring out which way you're going. So we need to be on the green, because that's the axis we want to be. So let's go to 1 on that one. And you can see they're stretched out, so we just bring the offset in until we get the look we're going for. And then you just increase your count. And bring this down. And I want to offset that a little bit. Those are a little too close. Just like that. Looks pretty good. And I like that look right there. It looks perfect. Alright, so I'm just going to merge those with the body so we can validate those. And yes, it's fine. This and all of these can just be combined now, I think. There's no reason to keep them separate. So we can just voxel merge them, or you can join them, whatever you feel like doing. I'll just bring this up, merge them, and it's weird how it does this, and I don't exactly understand why it does that all the time, but now you can just add a group and just group that all together. We'll just name this flashlight, or name it body. That'll work. All right, so that's good there. So on the front, I'm going to go ahead and put the little switch body on here, and a switch, and we'll just be just about done to put the light ray on. Add a box. These are always kind of cool because they had the double switch on them. So hard to get to those sometimes. I want that one. There we go. And we're going to round that off so it'll look like a nice switch. And I'm not going to get too crazy with the detail on this, but we'll bring it down about like that. Looks good. We'll validate it. Kick it down. Alright, then on top of that, it'd have the slider switch and the round switch. So the one, we can just add a spear to. That'll be fine. Shrink it way down. Just get it over here and just stretch it up. Up a bit. And I'm just going to give this a little bit of a trim. Something like that. Snap a view. We need to subdivide that, validate it, trim, rectangle, something like that will work, look good. Just going to use a smooth brush on it, real small, just knock the edge off. Okay, and then the next one would just be the slider switch, and this one I think we need to go a little bit bigger. Maybe a little bit longer, something like that maybe. That one forward. I'll put a little slider switch on and light it up. And before we go any further, let's go on the body, and the sphere needs to come out The box needs to come out. What is that? Okay. So that'll be good now. This one I'm going to smooth real quick. Smooth that off. I don't like that at all. We'll just leave that alone. It's going to be so small you're not going to see it. I should have done a little more smoothing on that earlier, but that's okay. And we will add another box. And we'll go and validate that. I'm going to use the paint on this, or actually we just use, I'm going to use the paint on this. Go small and just kind of make, nope, it needs to be much smaller, and it needs to be a much higher mesh. Okay, there we go, just so I kind of have an idea of what I want to do to this. And we'll solo this one and use the trim brush. I'll start with a line brush and just knock this off, like that. And then we'll grab this lasso without symmetry on. Now this one's a little thick, so it's not one to cut perfect, but that'll be okay. We'll give it another trim. And sometimes, you know, just doing multiple curves, it's just a little too much for it. All right, smooth that off. And let's solo it, so it needs to be narrower. Something like that. And narrowing it like that would have been better. It would have smoothed it, cut it much better to begin with. No, that's okay. Smooth this a little bit and I'll remesh it. Remesh. Flatten the sides a little. Smooth that. And I'm not going to worry about making it absolutely perfect. Alright, so everything's going to be chrome except the cylinders, so we're going to pick this first. Paint that one red because those are usually red. Just be red. It's fine. And everything else can be, those can all be painted a silver. Alright, so we're going to call that good for the flashlight. Let's go ahead and turn the grid off. Now let's go ahead and light this so we have a light beam coming out of it. Alright, so all these, I'm just going to combine all these again and we'll just join those all together. There we go, and just call that light. The body again. Okay. I'm going to add a cylinder. grab the other radius so we can put it in the flashlight, just like that. Just like that will work. We'll change this so we can see that a little bit better. So we go to here so you can tell that that's a nice white now. All right, so what we can do is you can round this off a little bit, which will help. It just kind of depends on how you want your light beam to look. You can cut it at an angle if you're shining on something. This probably won't matter. We can just put it through the ground that we'll put in our scene. It won't matter. So come up here. We're going to turn this into an additive material. We're going to come over here and add a light. Add a point light. And we're going to have to move it over because we're not in the origin right now. So I'm just going to find it. It takes a second to get there. All right, that looks pretty good. It doesn't have to be perfectly centered, but close. And then it's just a matter of where you want to put it. If you bring it down this way towards the center, it'll be better. And we're going to change it to a golden orange color. As soon as autosave finishes its thing. So we can go a little more orangey if we want. Okay. Now you can tell it's not really doing much, but come up to the post-process menu now and click on post-process and click on bloom. Now you can increase the intensity. And if you need more, you may have to put more than one light to get the effect you want. So if that's too much bloom, bring this down. You can bring this down to the end and round it off. And that's the thing, if you need to round your cylinder off a little bit for your effect you want, you can do that. So here we can just add another light, or this one we can just clone and bring it up. And just need to clone it one more time. There you go. So you have a nice light. Then you can grab all three of these and adjust if you need a little bit, if you want just a little bit out of the light there. And just pick each one. If you want to adjust the intensity, change the colors, whatever you want to do. So it looks like that one needs to be a little bit more intense to even out. And then this one, bring the intensity down a little bit. There you go. So there's a nice light beam. Now remember, if you do it like this and you add it to a scene, you're going to be limited because you've already used 3 of the lights you have available to you. So it just kind of depends on what you're doing. But that's it right there for the flashlight. So now I'm going to add in I'm just going to put a box on the bottom. So all of these I'm going to go ahead and attach to the light. These don't really matter where they go as long as they're just attached. You can close all those out. All right, now I'm going to add a box just for a ground. Just so we have something, and you can see it, makes a nice light ring on there. So do that. I'm going to add let's see, we'll just paint that brown. There you go, just so we have something. Alright, so you'll see here that these lights are not taking effect, so we're just going to get rid of them, and I'll put a new light in there. So I'll delete that one, and we have the ghost, so I'm going to rename that real quick. box in there, so let's so you have to unselect all of these to grab this one, pull it out. I'm going to add one more thing. I want to add the candy bucket. Yes. I'll add two more things, I guess, because we need to add the candy corn too. So open this up. Add a light again, so we'll close all that up, close all these up, and for the ghost we're going to add a light, another point light, and just fix him and we'll be done with our scene. Hey everybody, I hope you guys enjoyed making these for the month of October. It was quite the sculpting challenge, and it was a real challenge for me making all the videos. If you guys learned anything or had a good time doing these, please like and subscribe, and I will see you for the next ones. Alright, thanks.